Hi, my name is Connie Benton, and I've been at Lakeside Fellowship for about 5 years. Grew up in a good family, never wanted for anything. I had parents who loved me. Was not particularly churched growing up. My focus was more on being popular. I loved sports. I wanted to be liked. My wanting to be popular led into me following the crowd. I did what everybody else did. I went out on the weekends and partied and got into drinking. And in college, I started experimenting with drugs. Alcohol became a big part of my life. The more I drank, the happier I became. I knew there was something missing in my life. I had no clue what it was. What's the point of any of this? You get old, you die. All these things that you accumulated, you have no control over anymore. I just thought church was a list of rules. You do all of these things, and maybe if you're good, it'll be acceptable to God. And I think my guilt came from knowing I couldn't show up for an hour on Sunday and make up for what I was doing all week long. One day my daughter asked me to go with her to a church service. She had a friend that was going to be baptized, and I'm sure I'd heard it before in my past, but my ears were shut. I listened to a message about salvation in Jesus Christ, not about religion, not about doing things to gain God's favor. The message I heard that day was not do, it's done. Jesus Christ did what I have no ability to do. That turned my whole thinking upside down on its head. I'd never heard or listened to a message like that it wasn't something I had to do because Christ had already done it for me. That was a changing point in my life. I accepted Christ as my Savior that day, and life has been different. I'd say it was about a month after I accepted Christ as Savior. I came home, I popped the bottle on a glass of wine and took a big drink, and I did not like the way it made me feel. I did not like that lack of control. And then I knew that God was really working in my life. The Bible talks about, in 1 Peter 3, wives being a gentle, quiet spirit, and any wife whose husband doesn't believe may possibly win him over through that gentle, quiet spirit, not by what we say, but how we live our lives. My husband could tell you I was not a gentle, quiet spirit. And my husband came to know the Lord despite my basically my meddling in that process. God is so gracious and loving that He allows us to get involved in His plan. He doesn't need us, but He allows us to get involved in His plan so that we can get the joy and the blessing of pointing someone else towards Christ. You know, I wanted a Savior. I wanted somebody to save me, but I did not want somebody to be Lord over my life until I found that He makes much better decisions than I do. I just find that I need to follow Him more. God sees me at my worst. He sees me in the morning when I look awful getting out of bed, and He loves me regardless of the way I look on the outside, the things that I've done. Jesus is faithful, and He loves me despite all my imperfections.